How you guys doing? Oh, I'm sorry. How you guys and girls doing? I usually say, how are you doing or how you guys doing, not meaning like your actual guys. You know what I mean? Like, I just use that as, I don't know, that's not what this video is about anyways. Alright, I just think this is hilarious. But I'm gonna put out there, I have the opposite problem of a micro penis. I identify as a gender. My gender is what I identify in my gender. Identify as the big dick population. That's my gender recognition. I want to make a new one up since everybody's making them. And if I can't make my own up, that goes against everything previous. Now, my gender, okay, what I identify as part of the bigger penis males. Alright? Now, I guarantee after I say that, and after people listen to this, as soon as I was saying that, you guys and girls and other whatever you want to consider yourselves, like what I think people have been doing with this gender stuff is treat a scientifical standpoint like I identify, well, my name is different from everyone else's. Like, sure, there are other people named William, and I'm not going to identify as Bob because my name is William. And somebody that's named Bob is not going to identify as William because they're Bob. That's how people have been treating the gender stuff. Oh, I don't have a penis because it's got a normality to it. So I'm not a male. I'm this. It's a name. It's just a title. What the argument that everyone is arguing, I want to label me having a penis something different than what it is. If I'm holding a pear in this hand and in my other hand holding an apple, and this is kind of how this works. Like in all of the cases, this is kind of how this works. If I'm holding an apple in this hand and I'm holding a pear in this hand, all right, and this could be more than I don't only have but two hands. I wasn't born with three arms. But if you take a whole bunch of apples and put in this hand, and the same amount of pears in this hand, okay? Now, how can a certain number of these become oranges and a certain number of these become bananas? If that makes any sense. They're not oranges or bananas. They're literally a pear and an apple. That's all you get. You can label the pear, oh, that's not a pear, that's an orange. Or that's not an apple, that's a banana. But it's not a banana because a banana is a yellow type round, fruit like that. It's not an apple. And the same thing for a pear. A pear is green and not orange. It's like that's how people have been identifying themselves. Now, I don't agree with anyone under the age of 18 because, for one, when you hit puberty, you kind of need that if you want to change yourself into a woman. Obviously, not so much for a woman into a man. It's just how genetics are. It's how DNA works. I can't change how that works, but I can sure understand it, how it works, like genetics. But like I said, my gender identity is I identify with the bigger penis men. And if you say that's not a gender, then the way that I understand that it's been going, then you're hypocritical and you're wrong. Because that's what you were doing. In all respect. If you say that I'm gender fluid or I'm non-binary, alright, well, non-binary, it's not a gender. That's a state of mind and a way of labeling something. Like, I could say that's a TV because that's what it is. It's not a radio, but I can play music through it. You see what I mean? Like, it can do what radios do. It is a tuner. It has frequency tuner to it. It just doesn't pick up with an antenna. It can. So, how is a TV different from a radio? See what I'm saying? Like, that's the same concept with this gender stuff. Like, people calling a car something totally different than what it is. Like, you know, you can't call a car a motorcycle because both of them you can travel on. Like, you know, that's just, you know, it's just weird. Like, I don't understand this gender stuff. Like, there has to be, like, a way, in legal point, there has to be, like, a way to list that on a paper. I'm not trying to want to have a paperwork this thick just on what gender I could identify as. Like when I write an application or something. It's just so funny, you know, and it's so just, that's primitive. Like the way society is and the way people act and how smart they are, the intelligence level has seemed to have been going further and further below each year that passes. Like, it's like we're getting stupider or less intelligent, you know, like our intelligence is going backwards. Like, more grown people are acting like children, and it's giving me a headache. Because when, you know, 6-7 years ago when I just got out of high school, I was told that I was too immature. So I busted my ass, I started learning, I started reading, and I started changing my approach with stuff, and I started becoming more mature, and now it's like, the trend is like, oh yeah, you gotta just act like I was before I did this, before I changed the trend, you know, before I changed how immature I was. It's just very frustrating. And I really do not like how people treat other people in 2018. I do not like how the smallest petty arguments that's been going on. Like, I mean, it's just more than anything, you know, but like I said, I identify as a big penis male. And I guarantee there's going to be some controversy raised on that gender identity. I guarantee a lot of people are not going to like that gender identity. So, yeah. And since I put it in layman's terms that way, I'm pretty sure that all of the people that are for this gender identity stuff as it is right now are going to be like, no, that's good for you. And they're not going to treat me any different. But, you know, it could go either way. But if I come out there and I seen you right off the bat with how everything's been going with the gender identities and stuff, if I would have come up and said, hey, first thing I told you is I identify as a big penis male.
This is rock! I can't get jiggy with this shit!
Well, thanks, friend, for texting me when I'm making a live video. I'm pretty sure y'all heard my text message ringtone. But, anyways, yeah. So, I want to see how this pans out. If this identify as this gender or that gender and I can change it on a daily, then I'm just going to identify as a big penis male or whatever that term is in science, because I don't know the opposite term for, micro penis, because I definitely do not have one of those. I understand that issue. And then this thing about if you have a curved dick or something, it's some disease, Peyronie, or whatever. It sucks. That sucks. I've looked that up, and my friend was like, "Look this up," and I'm like, "Oh God, that sucks." Like, why? Like, I just woke up, man. What the hell? It's like I am just waking up too. So, but I've been up for maybe 20 minutes, but I'm still kind of tired. I had like a really long night. But anyways, yeah. I don't know. I'm trying a different approach with things. Sorry, my hair's a mess. I just woke up. And, but yeah, I identify whatever the opposite of a micro penis or the whatever. I don't think that I have a deformity, because deformity, like, I don't know. I just don't think that I have a deformity, or that I was born with anything, wrong with me. I think I was born as what I was supposed to be born as, and what I am right now. Like, that's how the cookie crumbles, in my perception. So, I identify as a big penis male, or whatever the scientific word is for the opposite of micropenis. And I don't think that I have Peyronie's disease, just because I have a curved penis. Most of those I've seen were curved upwards, not downwards. So, I mean, I don't know. So, I don't think. I just think the way that they're just making up words and throwing them together, and and like it's just childish. Like, you're making up random backward phrases for what it is, and it's just stupid. And I've never agreed with any of that. But like I said, I identify as the big penis male. That's my gender identity, and I like that. Good luck with everybody else's things.